Stuff Dutch people like exemplifies, questions, celebrates, and pokes fun at a nation of orange-loving, guttural-sounding, elements-battling, culturally bemused folk, all in the name of fun. At the back, it has this picture of a very Dutch-looking girl and windmill. Well, I'm in focus. Okay, I was just gonna say I'm in focus, but I've exposed that. And on the cover, you can see Black Pete, which people either like to talk about a lot or not at all. Someone riding a bicycle, we have those a lot, and of course those houses that that you can see in Amsterdam. So let's get started. To all the Dutch people I've known and not known, thank you for the inspiration and your ability to laugh at yourselves. My thanks also to the readers of the Stuff Dutch People Like blog for their endless opinions, support and good humour. And if you want to follow the people who made this book, here are all of their links. I don't know if they work anymore, but you can have a look for yourself. So let's first hear a bit about the author. So this is the author, Colleen Jeska. Colleen Jeska. Okay, that's fine. Is the author of the popular blog Stuff Dutch People Like. She is originally from Winnipeg, Canada, and has lived in Europe since 2004. When not busy writing, Colleen spends her days as a communications and social media consultant. Colleen holds a Bachelor of Commerce Honours degree in International Business and Marketing from the University of Manitoba. She currently lives in Amsterdam with her family. So let's go to the first chapter. Every chapter is about something that fits Dutch people, that describes Dutch people. So the first is bicycles. And in the Netherlands we own a lot of bicycles. We bike a lot. I think it has some figures. Yeah, we have 35,000 kilometers total length of bike paths, which is a lot for a small country like us, and 18 million number of bicycles in the Netherlands, which is also a lot considering we only have 17 point something million people living in our country. So we have more bikes than people. The second one is gezellig. I'm gonna read this because there's no way I can explain this. Spend any time in the Netherlands and you will quickly learn that Dutch people love this perplexing, guttural sounding word. The Dutch are fiercely proud of this word and everything it represents. Gezelligheid is the modern day religion of the Dutch. They love it, they need it, and above all, they respect it. I think it's a bit like the Danish have hygge, H-Y-G-G-E. We have gezellig. The Dutch love to ask foreigners over and over if they know the word gezellig. Once you do know its meaning, don't be surprised if you are then asked over and over again how to pronounce it. We suggest you learn to love it too, because the reality is you won't be able to escape it or its pronunciation. The tricky part about this word is that it has no precise English translation. Cozy, quaint, comfortable, familiar and friendly all come up short. Simply put, gezellig is a feeling. Things get even trickier to comprehend because Dutch people tend to evaluate just about everything on its particular level of gezelligheid. A place can be gezellig, a room can be gezellig, a person can be gezellig, an evening can be gezellig. Dutch women have even been known to describe birth as a gezellig experience. I've never given birth, but I wouldn't. And then here you have people who commented on the blog, and they all kind of agree that there is no word in the English language that can translate to gezellig. Because like gezellig can be everything. As I said, a person can be gezellig, an evening can be gezellig, so comfortable, cozy just doesn't cut it. A place can be gezellig, a group of people can be gezellig. You can just have a gezellig feeling. And for other people, funerals are often gezellig, as one person says, as there's a get-together of relatives who often haven't seen each other for a long time. Yeah, some people don't really agree on it. What would be the best words? Most people either choose cozy or comfortable, but a lively party could be gezellig, and that's not necessarily cozy or comfortable. But yeah, there's just not really a translation for it. It's, as the book said, a feeling. So the next one is hagelslag. And hagelslag is just chocolate sprinkles, usually a bit thicker than the ones Americans put on cake. Or pie, or I don't really know, but we put it on bread with butter. Okay. Dutch people consume over 14 million kilos of hagelslag each year. That's a lot. I love hagelslag as well. I don't really like this one, Dutch directness. We are very direct in the way we speak. Most of Dutch people, of course. I don't really like this. I like people who beat around the bush a bit. But a lot of people in the Netherlands appreciate it when you're just very direct with them. It's more appreciated than being nice. Oh yeah. Someone else already said being Dutch, directness is not something we should be proud of. I'm not. Yeah, me neither. I don't really like it. Some people really want directness over kindness or being nice. But actually most people I know love the directness, but I really don't. Yeah, here. As a Dutchie living in rural England, I cannot tell you how much I miss our directness, since I always have to guess what people really mean here. Yeah. That's a thing. We always say exactly what we want, exactly what we need, exactly what we mean. But I know some people appreciate, some don't. Battling water. We've had a lot of floods in the Netherlands in our history. Most of our country is below sea level, and we're right next to the sea. So we learned how to battle the water. And got very skilled at it. Lots of times in other countries when, dikes need to be built or we need delta plans or whatever, Dutch people get hired because we already know how to do it. The 3 kisses. Yeah, when you meet someone you know well, like friends or close colleagues or family members, you give them 3 kisses. 2 on one cheek and 1 on one cheek. Like, and if you don't know them that well, you give them air kisses, so you don't actually touch the cheeks with your lips. I like this picture though, it's so cute. This is Delftsblauw. And they're wearing traditional Dutch clothing. No one wears them anymore. It's just for like tourist attractions, people wear these clothes, but I really like it. It's so cute. And this is a guide to when to kiss and when to give a handshake. And here, you give 3 kisses to your friends and family, and air kisses preferably to co-workers during special occasions. And this is if you're a man, and this is if you're a woman, because that does make a difference with the kissing. Orange is our national color. And when we have football going on, the European Championship or the World Championship, you'll see people in orange everywhere. Or on King's Day, formerly Queen's Day, you will see people in orange. And King's Day is when we celebrate our King's birthday. And Queen's Day is when we celebrated the Queen's birthday. Kind of. We celebrated the birthday of the mother of the Queen, because she never changed the date. But traditionally, on King's Day or Queen's Day, you celebrate the birthday of the current Queen or King. Right now we have a King and a Queen, but the King is from the Oranje family. Their last name is Oranje, which is why our national colour is orange, because Oranje means orange. Why am I never in focus? I'm still not completely in focus, but I'll take it. Here we have translated the first part of our national anthem. William of Nassau, am I of German descent? Loyal to the fatherland, I will remain until I die. A prince of Orange, am I free and fearless? The king of Spain I have always honoured. And the mention of German blood will incite quite the heated debate amongst duchies, although this is indeed the literal translation, yeah. But we have a complicated relationship with the Germans. We poke fun of them a lot. You know, they're our neighbours. We do it with Belgium as well. Not owning curtains. This is something that you will see if you go to the Netherlands, or if you live here. Not so much in the south of the country where I live. I live in Limburg. But in most of the country, people, why will nothing ever focus in my life? Most people do have curtains, but we don't close them, so you can look in other people's houses and see what they're doing. The Dutch brain. I hate this. I hate that I can't manually focus. It's fine. You know what? Whatever, it's fine. Tulips. Now, tulips don't grow in the Netherlands originally. We got them from Turkey, but now we are famous for them, and we basically just stole them from Turkey. This is one of the tulip fields in the Netherlands, and a beautiful picture of a tulip. I really love this. If you ever want to get a tattoo of a tulip, this is a beautiful picture to get tattooed. Birthday congratulations. I haven't read this book in a while, so I don't really know what they mean, because like you congratulate people on their birthday. But let's read so I can find out how we also fuck this up. I've never been so confused in my life as when I first attended the birthday party of a Dutch friend. I had lived in the Netherlands a little under a year, and it happened to be my first real Dutch social affair. I arrived at the party and within minutes happened to be on door duty. A group of the birthday boy's friends walked in and immediately gave me 3 smoochy air kisses, followed by a tweet. I get where this is going. By a trio of enthusiastic congratulations. I smiled awkwardly. That was odd. Congratulations for what? Okay, yeah, that's kind of weird. We do that when it's someone's birthday. We don't just congratulate the person whose birthday it is, but also their relatives and close friends. Just like when it's my sister's birthday, people will come to me and say, "Oh, congratulations with your sister's birthday." I guess that's weird. I never really thought about it. It's just something we do. But yeah, that is kind of weird. To adequately navigate a Dutch birthday party, you will need to 1. Congratulate the person whose birthday it is. This sounds simple, but you will need to use the Dutch word gefeliciteerd, which requires first mastering the Dutch G, so start practicing. When I study in Scotland, and a lot of people there can kind of do our G. They have it a bit harsher, but make your way around the circle of seated guests and congratulate everyone who is close to the person whose birthday it is. This means congratulating their mother, father, wife, husband, grandma, grandpa, the cat, the dog, you name it. Yeah, now that I think about it, that's weird. I don't really know why we do that. Do let 3 kisses where appropriate. Eat 1 piece of cake and be merry. Yeah. Discussing the weather. We do that a lot. And yeah, this is basically our weather most of the time. Sometimes it's positive, like lekker weertje, which means nice weather, isn't it? But usually it's negative. It's either too warm, too cold, or it's rainy. Dutch people are quite the complainers. This is the weather facts of Amsterdam. The average humidity is 82.5%. They have 215 rainy days per year, and they're number 4 Europe's rainiest city. 215 rainy days a year? That's a lot. It doesn't seem like that. Tara says, hey, don't bash the weather. Without it, how would 99% of Dutch people start conversations? Yeah. Lekker is a word like gezellig. It has a lot of translations and it's very hard for English people to grasp. So some of the definitions, can you read it? Yeah, nice, dainty, tasty, delicious, yummy, luscious, snug, tempting, enticing. And here you have the expression lekkere broodjes, literal translation tasty sandwiches, actual meaning tasty sandwiches. Lekker rustig, literal translation yummy calm, actual meaning pleasantly calm. Lekker weer, tasty weather, great weather. Niet lekker, not yummy, not nice, not well. Slaap lekker, sleep tasty, come on. Sleep tight or sleep well. Lekker ruim, tasty space, actually means lots of space or room. So lekker is actually something that you put there to give a positive connotation to the word that's after it. You can't always do that though, but scheduling appointments, yeah. We do that a lot. Spontaneity is another strong point for Dutch people. Yes, they may like the concept or idea of spontaneity, but they usually have a hard time putting it into practice. In the lowlands, the concept of popping by a friend's house just doesn't exist. What? Show up out of the blue without an appointment? Dat kan niet. Which means that's impossible, which is something that we say a lot here in the Netherlands. Also a thing I don't really like. But yeah, I have that. My boyfriend was telling me, whenever I'm free, I'll just pop by a house, just say hi, and that immediately gave me anxiety. I'm like, but what if I'm doing stuff? What? You can't just come by without calling first. I'm just stupid. I mean, as little kids, you do it. You just go by a friend's house and see if they want to play, but when you get older, that becomes really complicated. Red pants. You'll see this a lot. Usually it's men wearing red pants. They call it fashion blunder. I don't think it's too bad. Maybe I'm just used to the sight, but I think this man looks dashing. Unique Dutch offense. It's not that bad. No, I like red pants. It's better than always having blue or grey or black. Natural birth. Is this how you hold a baby? I'm pretty sure this is not how you hold a baby. But yeah. There's no denying that Dutch people like to do things the natural way, the real way, and the normal way. In fact, the majority of Dutchies are downright obsessed with making sure their behaviour and the behaviour of others follow some unwritten rules of normalcy and realness. I really don't like that. I think you should just let people do whatever they want. Things like, that's not normal, or just be normal, are things that you hear all the time here, and I really hate it. Just let people do what they want. Why should everyone be normal? Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a hipster or something, but like with natural birth, don't tell people they have to do that. So C-section rate, 15% in the Netherlands versus 32% in the US. Dutch pamphlet handed out to women during their pregnancies proudly informs: giving birth hurts. Pain is a normal part of labor, so expect it. I really hate that. Just let people choose. Pain is a normal part of labor, so expect it. It doesn't have to be if you don't want it to be. Kudos to you for trying and going drug-free. And congrats, I as a Dutchie am baffled by all the options women in the US have: epidural, laughing gas. I suppose first it seems US women are either very afraid of pain or slightly alleen de lust, niet de lasten. Only the fun, not the pain. I translate this: just the fun, not the pain. Yeah, doesn't quite cut it, but I think you get my drift. Thus, it's also been normal to have home deliveries. And no, these aren't all with candles and bathtubs. Usually they are just in the comfort of your own bed, in your own home, which makes you feel more relaxed than being in some sterile, impersonal room in a hospital. And home deliveries are just as safe as hospital ones. And when a doctor has an inkling you might get complications, you will be referred to the hospital ahead of the delivery anyway. Sure, but it should still be an option, because what I hate is not that people here are just obsessed with being normal. They're also obsessed with making other people be normal, making other people be natural, whatever. Another thing is that you have to breastfeed, otherwise a lot of people tell you that you are a bad mother, and that's bullshit. It should just be an option. The next one is Black Piet. Black Piet is part of a holiday in the Netherlands called St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas is a man who gives out presents to children every year on the 5th of December, and his Black Piets help with that. Now the story is, the reason they are black is because they go through the chimneys to deliver presents, and they are black from the soot. That is the story that Dutch children are told. Of course, we must focus. And here you see St. Nicholas with his Black Piets, and all was well. We didn't see it as black face. No one was really offended by it until come on. Yes, not overexposed, but that's fine. Until the US started saying it's racist, which could be true. I just think it's kind of hypocritical. Like, we don't have, especially now with the Black Lives Matter and stuff, well, as far as I know, we've never had like a police brutality on a black person, you know, any controversy of that happening. Like, sure, we dress up as Black Pete, but we don't shoot black people in the streets, so I mean, but yeah, Zwarte Piet, Black Piet, is black, true, but he is also one of the most beloved traditional figures. Maybe I'm too narrow-minded and love Zwarte Piet too much, but I honestly can't understand how anyone can be offended by Zwarte Piet. He's just cool. I mean, yeah, the controversy hasn't been going on for that long. When I was a kid, no one thought it was racist yet, because no one from the international community had commented on it. It's actually kind of funny. In Belgium, they do it as well. And I was watching Belgian television, and the television presenter, I don't even know how you call it, talk show host, whatever, said, you know, if celebrating St. Nicholas is becoming too complicated in the Netherlands, just come over here, celebrate it in Belgium, because here no one gives a shit yet. Because I think the UN only thought only in the Netherlands did it, or they just didn't care about Belgium. Also, one of our old African colonies also does it. I think Suriname, but I'm not sure. But yeah, there black people actually put the brown face paint on, which is, I don't think that does much, because here the reason why people have to wear face paint as Zwarte Piet is because for children usually the person playing Zwarte Piet is your neighbor or your father or your teacher. So you can see St. Nicholas usually also a family member or teacher or something, but he has the big beard to hide his face, and they have face paint. So you could do it another colour, but you kind of need the face paint. So I don't really know how that works in Suriname. Maybe they use a different shade of brown and then that works. I'm not sure. I agree with Dutchy abroad. Okay, let's first reach Dutchy abroad. This is the comments. The large immigrant population should not be offended by the tradition. They should accept it. Nobody is forced to celebrate Sinterklaas. Holland is a free country, and also the traditions of other countries are accepted. That is the thing that shouldn't change about Holland, and in this world that is getting less and less free. I do agree with that. I am very about freedom and not letting it be impeded. However, if no one ever saw this as blackface, but now that people are starting to see it as blackface, people in the Netherlands are also getting offended by it, because in the beginning no one was offended. Then when people in the US found out, they were offended, but we still weren't. But now people here are getting offended, and that's when it's becoming an issue. I agree with Dutchy abroad. It's a tradition that we have. If immigrants feel offended by this, sorry to say this, but too bad. How about a Dutch blonde girl wanting to be in a bikini on the beach in an Arabic country? She would be imprisoned because of their traditions or culture, so she just simply wouldn't do that out of respect and maybe a bit of fear. We have our traditions in the Netherlands, respect those as we respect the traditions in other countries. That's one thing, I feel like, I know Dutch people don't really like Americans, but I feel like they don't really respect other cultures. They want to change them. There has to be a bit of respect. But I think Arjen here, he has a long post, but I am going to read it because he analyzes the situation very well. Apparently, and this form shows it, it is hard for us Dutchies to take criticism on a national tradition so well loved. That is a shame, because self-reflection is important, especially when people feel hurt. Two factors keep the tradition as it is. 1. We see no harm in it. Black Peets are loved. They are seen as heroes by children, many of whom want to be Black Peets when they are young. 2. We were all raised with it. When you have such fond childhood memories about this tradition, you do not want to change it. Sinterklaas is a children's party. It is about family and love. Our very positive notions are substitutes for the way people celebrate Christmas in the USA. It's hard to change such a tradition. It might feel like betraying your childhood, your parents, because if you change it, did they do anything wrong? And deprive your children of what you had as a child. This is not to say this is correct or right, it's just how it feels. And I feel that a lot of people get very defensive when the Black Pete debate comes up. And yeah, it's a hot button issue. It's very, if you're like, okay, well, it's racist, let's change it. You still have a thing like, but then how will my children celebrate Sinterklaas, the most fun holiday of the year? It's like asking people in other countries, and like people from the US, to just stop celebrating Christmas. Just stop. Is it sexist? Why is Santa Claus a man? Just stop celebrating it because it's sexist. A lot of people are going to be like, oh no, it's not because we didn't mean it that way. Oh no, but our children love it and they don't see it as a man that always gives presents. It's just a niggas who just happens to be a man. Things like that. It's, immediately get defensive because, you don't want to deprive your children of this special holiday. And if you change it, are you immediately saying that your parents did something wrong? So it is hard to change it, even if a lot of people would feel ambivalent about it, which is most you can ask for. Next is stroopwafels. Stroopwafels are a Dutch delicacy. You can't visit or live in the Netherlands for long without stumbling across the famous stroopwafel. It sounds fairly medieval, but in reality it's a modern-day tasty treat. Stroopwafels are made from 2 very thin layers of baked batter with a caramel-like filling in the middle. Stroll through any busy Dutch market and you will smell the delicious confections long before you actually see them being made. Yes. I love stroopwafels. Bringing your own cake. Yeah. If you spend any time in a Dutch office, you will quickly notice an abundance of confectionery goods. The larger the office, the more often cake will mysteriously appear on the coffee machine. So, when it's your birthday, you trakteert. So you are the person who brings sweets, usually cake, for the office, for your friends. In school, you bring sweets for all your classmates when it's your birthday. And I really like that tradition. We always were really happy in school when it was someone's birthday, because that meant that you could get sweets. And we had a shorter day because it took a while to give a sweet to every child there and sing songs for the birthday boy or girl. And yeah, in the workplaces you also bring cake or some sweets or something if it's your birthday. Mashing their food. This is called stampot. I really love it. It's just mashed potatoes with any vegetables. For anyone reading this, it shouldn't come as a big surprise. The Dutch food has yet to sweep the globe. Although pockets of Dutch dishes can be found scattered throughout the world, delectable Dutch cuisine has not really caught on. Fancy me picking up some Dutch food on the way home from work. Oh wow, you have gone to try this new Dutch restaurant in Soho, are phrases you may have never uttered. Isn't it odd that a nation of travelling, colonizing, emigrating folk can never manage to sow their own culinary seeds? Come on, who are we kidding? Even those emigrated Dutch settlers were thrilled to have found tastier grub. Sure, New York was more than happy to take the Dutch names of Brooklyn, Breukelen, Haarlem, Coney Island, Konijneiland, and Staten Island, Staten-Island. But when it came to Dutch cuisine, they left it at the door, apart from the cheese, that is. Dutch people have 3 very specific ways of preparing fruits/vegetables. They like to either 1. Mash the hell out of something. 2. Boil the shit out of something. Or 3. Deep fry the life out of something. Here's a stampot recipe with endive. That's my favorite type of stampot. So if you want to make it for yourself, you can pause the video and try it out. Skating on natural ice. Here you see a very old picture of people skating on natural ice. We still do this a lot, but we have a very famous event called the Elfstedentocht, which literally means going through 11 cities. So you skate on the natural ice through 11 cities that beside 11 cities. So it's very long. People train for it a lot, but global warming is happening. I can't even say it. So we haven't been able to do it in a long time. It used to be we could do 11 Stedentocht every year, but now the ice just isn't thick enough to have so many people on it, because a lot of people like to participate. So we haven't been able to do it, I think, not even since I've been born. But we still, every winter when it's possible, people go on natural ice and skate. You see the picture of someone skating the way we used to with the old skates. Sometimes you still see skates being sold like this, like vintage skates. Let's do a few more until we're halfway through the book. Herring. This is how we eat herring in the Netherlands. You put some onions on it and sometimes pickles. Then you hang it over your head like this. And then you eat it in one bite. That's the way you eat a herring. I've never tried eating a herring like that. It sounds messy to me. Like, the onions would drop all over your face, I think, and you're supposed to eat them with onions. You can't do without. Hair gel? Is that a Dutch thing? Not sure, they don't have a real picture for this. But yeah, it says that Dutch people are among the highest consumers of hair gel in the world. I've never really noticed that, but apparently we also got a hairdo named after us in the Urban Dictionary. Long, greasy locks are called the Dutch Prince look. Don't be fooled by the glamorous name. There's nothing royal about it. I didn't know that. I still don't know where the expression Dutch oven comes from. We don't have stinky ovens, I think. Maybe we have some food that smells that we used to make in an oven? Not sure. Jokes about Belgians and Germans. We're not very nice for our neighbours. We make a lot of jokes about Belgians and Germans. Say German flag. We're most mean to Germans. So here's a Dutch joke that has been translated to English. But first, the Belgian jokes are generally light-hearted. Yeah, we love our Belgian counterparts. Whereas the German ones can be a bit more cutting and often involve tricking Germans into some form of bodily harm. A typical example. A Dutch man sees a man on his knees using his hand to drink water from one of Amsterdam's canals. He walks up to him and says in Dutch, "Hey, you can't drink that water, it's dirty and will make you sick." The tourist shouts back in German, "Was sagen Sie? What are you saying?" The Dutchman responds in German, "Sie sollen mit 2 Handen trinken, das geht besser. You should use both hands, it's much better." Funny enough, a lot of the jokes that the Dutch make about the Belgians are the exact same jokes the Belgians make about the Dutch, just reverse the nationalities. The common themes include lack of intelligence and cheapness. The hard hitters involve both. Yeah, I think we are more cheap and they are more dumb in the jokes, but yeah, we also sometimes say that Belgians are cheap and Belgians say that we are dumb, but it's usually the other way around. And with Germans, we are a bit more mean. I don't know where that came from. Maybe the war, but I don't think so. Sports rivalry, of course. They usually beat us in football, and we're mad about it. Yeah. I can't really defend that. They usually beat us in football. We're salty about it, so we make jokes about harming them. Germans don't have jokes about the Dutch. Beating them at soccer is enough to make us happy. Ouch, haha, touché. I think this encounter is really funny. Okay, and I will leave the rest for another video. And I will see you in part 2 of this video.